Hey there, good afternoon, everyone. It's Brandon Morgan here. I'm your Vice President of Platform here at MarketScale. Really excited to get to talk to you today about MarketScale Amplify and Engage pages. So we're going to learn what are Amplify and Engage pages today. We're going to talk a little bit about how you can maximize their utilization for your business or for your own personal use, your thought leadership, and building your own personal brand. But before we get into that, I just wanted to take a few minutes to point out a few features of our webinar today. So first of all, we have a chat functionality here on the right-hand side. I encourage you all to put any questions or comments that you may have there in the chat, and I'll do my best to get to all of those questions as we go through the presentation today. Really excited for those of you that have been on a recent webinar with me. I have done a webinar on the MarketScale Engage pages before, so a little bit of that will be familiar for you. But for most, if not all of you, the MarketScale Amplify pages will be pretty new. So maybe not new for some of our DMS who have been building them, but for some of our clients who haven't seen theirs yet, really excited to talk about that with you as well. So again, before we dive in, please, any comments there? I see we've already got a great one joining us today with Terry. But again, really excited to get started. So I'm going to add my screen share here, so we will get going. And just hold on one moment. Let me share my screen. All right, there we go. So as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about the MarketScale Amplify and Engage pages, and really excited to go over both of these. Before I dive into this, I want to give a little background on why we're focusing on these two products or these two features of MarketScale. So your content is only as good as the distribution you give to it. So content that is not published and not shared is not going to work for you, whether that's for your brand or for your own personal brand. So MarketScale Amplify and Engage are two ways that we've designed for our customers and our thought leaders and experts alike to build their brands. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into MarketScale Amplify first. So for those of you that have been with MarketScale for a long time, you may be familiar with the term branded media channel. And that's really what the MarketScale Amplify page is. It's your own branded media channel. This hub for all brand content is designed specifically for businesses and industry professionals. So what's really exciting about the MarketScale Amplify pages is that you can put any content you want on these pages. These are not exclusively for thought leadership. They are for product marketing. They are for interviews, educational content, and thought leadership, but they're really for all types of content. And I like to tell some of our brands, think of this as your own personal microsite. And I know that especially for some of our enterprise partners, it can be very challenging to get content published on their website. This is going to be a kind of a little bit of a hack, if you will, a way for you to publish content on a third-party site and have that content really get to work for you. So oftentimes the MarketScale Amplify page is compared to YouTube. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the differences and similarities between the Amplify and YouTube pages. So again, as I said, your Amplify page, every piece of content gets a unique post. I'm going to touch on this a little bit more in a minute, but that's a really big difference, okay? And when we say a unique post, we mean a full article with either a short form write-up or a full kind of analysis piece included. So again, we'll get to more of that here in a moment. You do have improved shareability for social. So the entire Amplify page has social shareability as well as each individual post. So I'm going to pull up an example of an Amplify page here in a second to show you that. But again, this is targeted to a B2B audience and specifically industry professionals. Take that compared to YouTube, which is certainly a more general public audience. YouTube is obviously going to be very video centric. I know that on YouTube, you obviously have like a little description section where you can leave some notes and things like that. But in general, you think YouTube, you think just video only. And then, of course, we all know that YouTube does have ad-based revenue streams. So sometimes those pesky ads can kind of get in the way of your content. I've even seen it where a competitor is running an ad and a competitor's ad may play as a pre-roll before one of your videos. So we don't like that. That would not be great. And so again, part of the reason for the MarketScale Amplify page. And so before I really dive in and show you the Amplify page itself, I want to really hone in on the simple fact that this is for all content types. So whether that be brand marketing, educational content, thought leadership, you name it, this content can go on this page. And you do have the ability to categorize that content. So on your Amplify page, you might have a section for a specific product, or maybe you have a section for a specific solution, or maybe you divide your content in the same sorts of categories that we've put here on this particular slide. That's really going to be up to you. This all leverages the MarketScale ecosystem for content syndication. So that's really a big piece of this. We want your content to get more eyeballs, get better distribution, and of course, this content has SEO backlinks back to your website. So you're going to get all of that SEO value of having your content shared far and wide. And now the best part is it's very easy to publish content on MarketScale Amplify pages. Just ask your DMS. They can get content published for you at the drop of a hat. It's very, very easy for them to do this. So I wanted to now share an example of the MarketScale Amplify page for our partner, Philips Displays. So you can see here, as I mentioned, you do have the ability to share the entire page itself, but you also are now going to be able to gain subscribers, just like you would on YouTube, to your MarketScale Amplify page. We will share this list with you at any time, okay? So you'll have that list of anyone who may have subscribed to your content. And then down the road, this is a future roadmap item, you'll be able to actually send email blasts to your customers anytime, or to your subscribers anytime there is new content. So as I scroll down here, you're going to be able to see the different content pieces, the different episodes. So you can see that this page was divided up. We have success stories here, and then solutions videos, and then videos from their community. So again, just to hammer home the point that the Amplify page is available for any and all types of content. So that's really exciting. Now, another piece of this is just like we shared that you've got shareability on the page itself, kind of at a brand level. If I dive into a particular episode, you're going to find that I'm going to be able to share that particular episode as well. So I can share this article directly here from the article. It's got the video, and then it's got the write-up. So this is another key differentiator between the MarketScale Amplify page and, say, just a YouTube page, for instance, is that you're getting an actual write-up with each piece of content. This is massive for SEO, and it's also huge for AI learning, AI readability. So AI is really learning all sorts of content as it's being produced, and it's largely doing so through the text affiliated with video. So it's not yet watching your videos, it's actually reading the text about your videos. So that's why having text to accompany your video is critically important. So this is really, really exciting that now each piece of content, whether it's long form or short form, is going to get that article treatment and get that write-up. And again, as I mentioned, this allows you to share this content out directly here from this page. So I'm looking here at our comment section, and we've got our question here. If something's on an Amplify page can be added to additional site? Yes, so Terry, great question. Anything that's being added to your Amplify page is your own content. And this can all be added to your website as well. In fact, we highly recommend that. That's kind of numero uno when it comes to distributing your content, is put it on your own website. We will give you the embed codes to be able to share that content and share an entire branded Amplify page like you're seeing here on your website. So that was a great question. I'm very excited about the ability to do that. But keep in mind, for those of you that may have trouble publishing on your own website, and like I said earlier, I've seen a lot of our enterprise partners sometimes have a little bit of trouble being able to get content published. This becomes a really nice way to get content published on a third-party reputable source that you can still share and use as you see fit. So MarketScale Amplify pages are available for all of our customers. So for whether you're a DMS, a thought leader expert in our community, or you are a MarketScale customer, or perhaps you're a prospective customer, you're considering joining the MarketScale community, the MarketScale Amplify page is available for your brands, and all companies get that regardless of what level or tier of service they are on. So that's an important note as well. They are available regardless of tier of service. So we're now going to shift gears and we're going to move to the MarketScale Engage pages. So we've talked about MarketScale Amplify. Now it's time to talk about MarketScale Engage. And for those of you that have joined previous webinars, some of this will be familiar to you. I hope everyone here has an Engage page. We'll talk about how you can make sure that you do here in the future. But if the MarketScale Amplify page was the front page of your brand, think about the Engage page as the front page of your thought leadership and your personal brand. So this is a digital platform tailored to individuals. So this is going to bridge that gap between your content and your audiences. It is invite only. So you have been selected. If you're on this webinar, you're invited. And so that's really exciting. So whether you are a contributor or thought leader in the MarketScale community, whether you're a customer and you have your own thought leaders within your company, or you're a MarketScale DMS or other individual actually working here with MarketScale, you get an Engage page as well. So one of the big things about your MarketScale Engage page is that any of your content, of course, you've got free production, editing, promotion, distribution, and design for all of your content. So just like we did for MarketScale Amplify, let's do a little comparison. I think that a good comparison for MarketScale Engage is Substack. So where MarketScale Engage is elevating your content at no cost, there is a 10% fee on each transaction when paid subscriptions are enabled on Substack. So again, that doesn't mean that necessarily that your audience that's coming to your Substack page, they don't have to subscribe or do a paid subscription. But if you are offering that through Substack, you will have that 10% fee. Whereas with MarketScale Engage, you will have that at no cost. MarketScale Engage is heavily centered around rich media. So think videos, think podcasts, anything in that realm. Whereas Substack is certainly more writing centric. Now, you can publish rich media on Substack, but in general, when you go through Substack, you are going to see things being considerably more writing centric. Next, in MarketScale Engage, you have industry specific audiences. Whereas with Substack, you do have more limited segmentation. There are some features available. There are some ways to sort of segment your audience, but MarketScale, being a B2B publisher, is going to have a highly specific and highly tailored audience for your Engage page. So just like with Amplify, I'm going to show an example of a MarketScale Engage page here in a moment, but I'm going to move on and talk a little bit more about how this integrates into what you're already doing. So the MarketScale Engage page allows you to have a custom background. I think that that's really important. You're obviously going to have your profile picture, and we want to include certain things about your personal brand. Maybe that's your education, or maybe that's some of the skills or certifications that you have. These can all go onto your MarketScale Engage page. We want this to really be a representation of your personal brand. And I recommend that, as you're creating content with MarketScale, whether that be through your partnership as a brand or whether that be as a contributor, to think about the content that's going to go onto your Engage page. So I recommend a consistent flow of content. I think weekly content does really well. At a minimum, monthly content is going to be really important for your Engage page to flourish. And just like with MarketScale Amplify, your Engage page allows you to tap into the value of subscribers. So we want you to establish authority in your field. That's going to go a long way to growing your reputation at your company and in the industry as a whole. So I'm talking to my brands here. Who are those individuals in your company that should have a MarketScale Engage page, that need to be seen as that thought leader in the industry? Those are the individuals that we want to build their MarketScale Engage pages for. So I think that this gives you a real clear understanding of the types of individuals or the types of people that are going to really do a great job with a MarketScale Engage page. I am going to take a second to talk a little bit about some content do's and don'ts. So whereas this is one place that this differs from your Amplify page. With your Amplify page, all content is game, right? Anything can be published. With your Engage page, we do highly recommend that you focus on the thought leadership, case studies, and sound bites, the things that really showcase your personal brand. We do want thought-provoking content, things that are cutting edge, trending, topical pieces of content. You do want to kind of move away. You probably don't want to have your sales pitches on your Engage page. Again, that's kind of your own personal thought leadership page. So I would kind of steer away from those. And then a tip that we have is just any insightful email that you might send, think of that as a good Engage page post. So as I mentioned, let me pull back up here an example of a MarketScale Engage page. And this is one of my favorite ones. This is for Michael Horn. For those of you that are not familiar with Michael Horn, he is a co-founder and a distinguished fellow at the Clayton Christensen Institute there at Harvard. So if you haven't read The Innovator's Dilemma, I highly recommend that. That's Clayton Christensen. And Michael Horn was really tapped to kind of carry the torch upon Christensen's passing. So Michael Horn's an outstanding thought leader, and we're very lucky to have him be a part of the MarketScale community. But you're going to see here, his page is custom built. It's got a beautiful background. It's got his profile picture. We've got a little bit of detail about what he does, who he is. This section here, this descriptive section, is totally customizable. Of course, we've got his education here. And then really, this is the name of the game. These are his recent posts. And here are all of the content pieces that he has been featured in. And so this is really what the MarketScale Engage page is all about. This is supposed to be designed to be, like I said, kind of that personal Substack, if you will, but with some added benefits. And so then whenever I dive into a particular post, just like you saw with MarketScale Amplify posts, every post has that write-up. And this is huge. This goes a really long way to this content performing as well as it does for Michael Horn. So just like it'll perform well for the rest of the members of our community, you are able to share directly here, share this individual post, or you could share the page altogether. So I recommend sharing this out on LinkedIn. And I think each individual post getting shared out on LinkedIn is important as well. So that's a great example of a MarketScale Engage page. Really excited about that as well. And so, with these sessions, we try to be really tactical and kind of be, conscious of your time. And so I want to take a little bit of time here now to answer any questions that we may have. So let's see here. I've got a good Q&A question from Katie. Is the subscribers something I can use now? Yes, it is something that you can use now. So your subscribers list, we can export that immediately. We can share it with you at any time. So as you have people that you are sending to your Engage page or that you're sending to your Amplify page, we will be able to share those subscribers with you immediately. So that's a great question. I can see actually Millette was excited about that as well. So glad to have Millette on here. So beyond that, a couple of other thoughts that I have kind of as we wrap up the presentation portion today is that if you're a brand and you don't have an Amplify page and you're a MarketScale, your existing MarketScale customer, please immediately reach out to your DMS and get that ball rolling, because we can set up this page typically in about a week's time. So it's not a tough thing for us to create. If you're a member of the MarketScale community in any facet, we highly recommend that you have a MarketScale Engage page. And we even have made that, we've made that very simple as well. You can message your DMS if you're a customer, or just email engage@marketscale.com. Engage@marketscale.com. That's going to connect you directly with your content concierge, so to speak, someone who will be able to set up your Engage page and then begin adding your content as you produce it and publish it on marketscale.com. So 2 very simple ways to get started with MarketScale, Amplify, and Engage. So unless we have any other questions today, I think this was a really good initial session, just kind of getting a basic understanding of MarketScale, Amplify, and Engage, what it can do for you, how to set it up, how it works. And as always, me being our VP of platform, I want to answer any platform related questions or any MarketScale related questions at all. My email address is just brandon.morgan@marketscale.com. Shoot me an email, give me a call. Happy to walk through any of this with you and make sure that it's as seamless and as easy as possible for you. So any final questions here before I let everyone go? I think that this was a really good session. I think we were able to answer a couple of good questions and hopefully give everyone a good primer on MarketScale, Amplify, and Engage. And so if there are no further questions, I really appreciate everyone's time. It's always great being on these webinars. I sure do enjoy it. And so thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see everyone next week. Take care.